Hey, welcome everybody to Tuesday Tea Time with Dorina. We are from Women of Wisdom, and we are a nonprofit organization here to empower teen girls and women with practical wisdom and confidence. We're here to bridge that generational gap between the younger and the older generation because we need one another. All right. So, hey, uh, I am, I'm going to share with you my tea that I'm drinking tonight. Last week, I didn't even share, I didn't even have it together with my tea. Uh, so, getting used to 7 o'clock since we changed the time to 7. But anyway, I'm doing vanilla chai tonight, and I do not have creamer in it. I just wanted to drink it without the creamer tonight. So I hope that you have your beverages and that you fill your cup up with lots of wisdom tonight. All right, tea time. So, I have my cup. I don't think, let me see if I can move this out of the way so you can see my teacup. Yes, this is one of my, if you've seen me before, this is one of my favorite teacups. So, guess what? Okay, tonight, um, I was thinking, what are we gonna touch on tonight? And you know what? It came to me that to touch on practical wisdom. And we empower with practical wisdom and confidence. And I think a lot of times we don't really realize what practical wisdom really is. And so I said, well, let's share what practical wisdom is and learn how to grow in wisdom and apply these things to our lives on a daily basis so that we can make better decisions in life. Okay, so this is what we're talking about tonight, practical wisdom. All right. And I have um, some people say that practical wisdom is a master virtue. Okay. But let me give you my definition in its simplest form. All right. Okay. Practical wisdom, taking the best course of action in any given circumstance. Okay. So it helps us to realistically conclude a worthwhile end. Now, I don't know about everybody, but I know there are a lot of people that want a worthwhile end. And using practical wisdom will definitely help you have a worthwhile end. And so let's talk about the importance of practical wisdom. So, practical wisdom is important because without it, we will repetitively make mistakes. Okay. So, which will lead to disappointment and misery. And anytime you're dealing with disappointment and misery, we talked about this before, you're talking about leading to hardship and sometimes death of your goals, death of your dreams, and sometimes even self afflicted death, because misery, like they say, loves company, and disappointment on disappointment on disappointment equals failure, and failure becomes, depressing, and we fall into despair, and then we no longer, we can no longer find our reason for why we're here or why we should stay here. And that's dangerous, and we know that there's a lot of people that have fallen into that trap. And we do not want you to be one of those. Okay. Okay. So practical wisdom will instruct us to guard our hearts and our ears. Okay. Since knowledge uh, places a vital part on wisdom, we must protect ourselves from harmful information. Okay, so we've been talking about words, and I've said to you, words are the most powerful thing on earth. And so it's very important that we use our words carefully. And it's very important that you don't allow other people to use your ears as a slop bucket and your heart as a trash can. Words can create, or they can destroy, they can create a battle, or they can end the battle. Words are very powerful, and words, you can't have knowledge without words. And practical wisdom is taking the best course of action in any circumstances. And you got to have knowledge. You got to have words, the right words, positive words are the right words, aren't they? Okay, so be careful of what you allow to go into your ear gate and your heart gate. We have to protect, you know, ourselves, especially when you have a goal in life and you have dreams. Sometimes there are some people, it's almost like some people are just set in your way or in your life to just destroy your dreams. And most of us know that everybody that hangs around us is not always for us. And people will say things, and we don't always know their intentions, or their motives for the things that they say. But you know what? We can control, what we allow to enter into our ear gates and our heart and our hearts. And that is very important, because that helps form the way that we think. And we want to make sure that our minds are protected and they are renewed, with the right information. If we're ever going to accomplish our goals and our dreams in life, practical wisdom is definitely a vital tool that you want, that's going to help you get there. You're not going to get there without practical wisdom. And practical wisdom, let me say this: wisdom itself lives on a higher level. And so once you know how do I say this? Once you have tasted the better things in life, why go back to slop? you know and it's the same thing with wisdom. Now, we all gonna make mistakes. That's a part of life, and I keep saying that over and over again, because we really need to understand that we all make mistakes, and no one can really point a finger at anybody. And that's how we learn. You don't want to stop reaching, stretching, risking, because you will stop growing. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're seeking, you're reaching, and you're risking. I can't remember the fourth one, but, you know, never stop growing, never stop learning, never stop, advancing in life. And yeah, there's times when, oh my goodness, we get tired and we want to give up. Never give up. Never give up. Okay? Keep going, because I was talking to one of my board members, and I was telling her, a lot of times, we're actually stronger than we think we are, and we don't realize how strong we are until we go through something, or we've been through something and we look back, and it's kind of like, wow, how did I get past that? And so, whatever you're dealing with right now, whatever you're going through, you will make it through. Just keep telling yourself, I can do this. Okay. So I don't know who that was for, but I know that was for somebody. Okay. Don't give up. Okay. Allowing the right things to enter into the gates of your hearts and minds are so important. Don't let people just hang around the right people that are speaking positive things, to you and over you. Okay, because what goes in will come out. Okay, so we want the right things going in, we want the right things coming out, and it just makes a big difference, like I said before, what you're saying to yourself. Okay, so we want to use practical wisdom. Okay, we want to take the best course of action in any given circumstance. Okay. And like I told you before, wisdom is the ability to use knowledge correctly. So when you grow in knowledge and understanding, then you have more to work with, so that you will know how to incorporate those, that so that they would produce wisdom, that they would produce the right course of action. And a lot of times, a good way to do that is to have someone that you can share with, that will give you good advice. There's some things I'm going to share with you at the end, because you do need to have a practical method of growing in wisdom and knowing how to use it. Okay. So, practical wisdom tells us not to let others um, abuse us and speak any old thing to us. Guard your ears and guard your heart. I'm talking to somebody, and I just, for some reason, I can't get away from the guarding your ears and guarding your heart. This is so important, that you just don't let anyone or anybody, don't just accept everything that someone says about you or to you or about somebody else. Find out things for yourself. Don't just accept everything. Don't be, a gullible type of person that, you think that this person should, uh, you know, be a good source of information, but everybody, just because they're educated, that don't mean anything. Everybody, lies or have lied in their life at some point, and you need to know the truth for yourself. So do your research. Even, with me, when someone comes and tell me stuff about somebody else, you know, if I don't see for myself what they are saying, I just put that on a shelf, and I let that person prove to me that either they are like what somebody else is saying about them, or they're not like that. And it's just better that you discern things for yourself, because you have a gut feeling. You have a knowing on the inside of you that would tell you whether or not something is true or not. And so, just be guided by that inward knowing, kind of like an intuition type of thing, where you can uh, discern and evaluate things for yourself. That's wisdom talking to you right there. Okay. So I know that was for somebody. I don't know who it was for, but apply that to your life. Okay. Knowledge comes from words, and words create images. And if you can't see it, you can't have it. Okay. Nor will you be motivated towards anything, because you can't see it happening for you. Now, you have to see things. If you ever want to reach your goal and dreams in life, you have to see yourself being able to accomplish those things, and that's where you have to guard what everybody else is saying. Sometimes, you know what, when it gets difficult, you got to guard yourself from sometimes your own discouragement, and sometimes you got to stir yourself up, to believe in yourself. And sometimes it's just like that. Sometimes only person that you have is you, and you can rely upon you. You're right there with you. Everybody doesn't always show up, when they say they will. And you could be in the trenches, and all those that said that they'll be there with you don't show up. But you know what? You're right there with yourself. You gonna show up. So you might as well encourage yourself to follow, what's in your heart to do, and just grow. Okay. Our words cause our dreams to flourish or vanish. Okay. So it's very important that, we're using practical wisdom, and that we know the best course of action in any given circumstance. And that is possible. You just have to search things out. I was telling one of my sons, if you're going to start something, the first place to start is to research everything out. And especially if you're going to be an entrepreneur, whatever field or whatever, uh, products or whatever you want to uh, sell, or you know what I'm saying, whatever you want to do as an entrepreneur, research the information, from every corner, every aspect. Okay. Okay. So let's move on, because there's a couple of practical methods that I want to share with you about growing in practical wisdom. So let me put that up here. Okay. One of them is talk to others you don't know, and pay close attention to what you can learn from them. Okay. People who have a different perspective, and people from different backgrounds, you can gain practical wisdom, knowing the best course of action. You know what? The more information that you have, the better decisions that you can make. Sometimes, me and my husband will be talking, and, we'll talk about how, well, when you're limited on information, then you can only make that decision based off of the knowledge that you have. So if you're missing knowledge on a specific thing, then you don't have a whole balance or a round, so to speak, information to make the right decision. And practical wisdom, you want to make the best course of action. You want to have all the information that you can get. Okay. So it's good to talk to people that you don't know and pay attention to the things that they're saying, and people from a different background, people that have a different perspective on life. You can learn from them. My husband, he was saying this to me today, and we were talking about something, and he was kind of giving me his perspective on the subject, and he was asking me, whether I wanted to hear it or not. And I was like, yeah, I want to hear it, because I want to be able to uh, look at the whole picture. I don't want to just look at part of the picture. I don't want to be a narrow-minded person, that uh, this is the way it is, and you know, uh, there's no other way to look at this, and I don't want to be like that. I want to be a type of person that can learn from other people and gain knowledge and get a wider perspective, because the wider your perspective is, the more knowledge that you have, then you can make wise decisions based off of all the information that you have. Okay, so you want to make sure that you do that to increase your wisdom. Okay, number two is share your wisdom with others. All right, don't keep what you've learned to yourself, and like it's some kind of mystery that somebody else has to figure out. You received it, now you give it. And that's that's really important, that you share what you learn. And do you know that the more that you share what you learn, that you learn more while you sharing it? And the thing is, you got to have room, to receive more. You got to give out. If your closet is full, you can't put no more in that closet. You can't be trying to stuff the closet. You got to remove some stuff so that you can receive more stuff. And so, the same thing with sharing what you have learned in life, and what the wisdom that you have gained in life. We need to be willing to share that with other people. And you know what? That's the reason why, uh, part of the reason why Women of Wisdom is here in the first place, to bridge that generational gap between the younger and the older generation. Like I said, we need each other, because there's a lot of wisdom out there, that and perspectives that we can learn from one another. Nobody, one person doesn't have all the wisdom, that. But uh you grow as you go, and as you go, you gain and you share. And the more you share, the more you will grow. And so you want to make sure that you do that. Okay, so anyway, I want to share this with you as well. If I can get this added on here. Okay. Okay, virtue makes us aim at the right end, and practical wisdom makes us take the right means. That's good. Virtue make us aim at the right end. It gives us the, you could say, ability, or uh, the right sense of direction to make the right decisions. good judgment that will lead us to the right means. And then we can apply practical things, or just applying application. Wisdom is the uh, using knowledge correctly. And so you could also say, applied wisdom, in action to lead us to the right means. You could say that as well. So I hope that, this kind of helped you, and that you will use practical wisdom in your life to help you reach your goals and your dreams. And remember to encourage yourself and all that you're doing. You didn't start to not finish. Okay. So don't let other things get in the way, or let negative things and negative people get in the way. You probably heard this, there's a lot of successful people that has failed many times over, but they always got back up. There was singers that was told that they would never, you know, be professional, and they didn't listen to what everybody else said. There was one professional singer was told by Motown or something like that they would never make it, and they made it with another company. So if it's in your heart and you know that this is something that you was created to do, go for it. And I'm talking to somebody, maybe you haven't got to that place yet. Maybe you're still taking baby steps to get to that place. Well, use practical wisdom as your guidance to lead you. And you may not be doing what you desire to do right now, but continue to take those steps, and it will lead you to the results that you desire. And it's a step by step, inch by inch, day by day life. But the key is to keep pursuing after your goal, keep pursuing after your dream. And if you fall, get back up. There's going to be struggles, learn from them, and apply that wisdom to the situation that you learn, and just keep going, keep going, keep going. Kind of like the uh, Nemo, the fish, just keep swimming, just keep. I have grandkids, and I love watching the movies with my grandkids. So, but the thing is to learn and grow and accomplish and reach your goals and your dreams. Okay. So this is Dorina with Tuesday Tea Time. I love you. And next, we have a guest coming soon. And so stay tuned, because we have a guest coming, and we're going to have a blast like we usually do. And I'll keep you informed about that. And so, but anyway, as I always say, walk in wisdom, okay? All right. Enjoy your evening. Bye-bye.